So we're back with A2K. It's the finale, the last episode, part two of the final. It's round three and the final mission. And here we just have them starting off with some kind of final interview saying, they all love each other. Camilla cries, Lexus cries. And then we get into the show. And what they've got going on in the show is they're doing a thing called the Common Song Battle. Basically, what that means is that both teams form the same song, and apparently it's the same team. So I thought it was going to be a new, uh, rearranged set of teams, but apparently they just let the same teams work together moving forward. And so there's no remixing of the teams here, and that kind of surprised me. But the song is called YO Universe, basically universe. Uh, but I guess it sounds too similar to not say the YO part. And he basically says that this song is about embodying the message of the project, which is unity through diversity. And so that's that. We get into the first group, and it's Team Clover again. Now here we have JYP being a little bit more picky about the parts, and then he just has them like go through each of them, and seems like he's undecided first. But in practice, apparently it's really difficult choreo, super fast moves with hard lines according to Christina. But everyone does well, and they get stickers for working hard as well. And then after this, we get to see a part where Gabby enters, who is responsible for the choreo. And so she introduces herself, and she gets to see them dance. And it seems like throughout it, she had a smile on her face, and she was happy with the uh, practice so far as she saw it. And the only thing she said was that, hey, the timing is kind of wrong on certain moves, and the team is not in sync. And then she demonstrates which moves where that's happening. But then she said the overall feel is that what they're doing is matching well, and so overall very positive. And so for me, when I was watching this, I was thinking that they started off really well. It's a decent song, but I think it could be better after studio editing and arranging. Actually, I'm not even sure this song needs choreo. I feel like it could have been better just as kind of like a kind of a summer song that's not attached to choreo. But I guess that's just the nature of the beast. But anyways, they had good sync throughout the performance at most points. I noticed some missteps. Like I feel like there was a point where Kendall kind of maybe almost fell back during the performance, and then but aside from that, I felt like they did a good job. I was not disappointed with anything they did. I thought that once again KG was kind of carrying vocally, and I noticed that uh, individually, even though they weren't like exceptional because the audio was really low on their vocals, I thought they did better than they did in harmonies. And then over here we have the criticisms from well, in terms of criticism, I'm just gonna talk about the criticisms first. Now, Sunmi basically said that Team Clover was full of energy. Said that KG is not at all bad at dancing and was just inexperienced, but she was basically a natural. And then for Gabby, she said they were all smiling and she enjoyed the performance. And according to Gabby, who made the choreo, by the way, she said they met the highest standard. And so that was like very good on their part. It seemed like she was very happy to see them perform the stage. And then in terms of JYP, he basically just said that they were higher than his expectations. He said KG's vocals were amazing and her dance was right on the right trajectory. And I feel like he said something positive about Kendall as well, but I may be wrong on that because I don't have a note on it. But for some reason, I feel like he might have praised her in some way. But I might be wrong. That might just be like my imaginary JYP in my head saying that. So because he's being too nice to her throughout the competition. So we get to the next group and it's team topic, and you know during the part distribution, Camilla sings really well during this section where she's just showing off here, and then basically JYP still trying to get emotion out of Gina, and so seems like Gina can do the fierce stuff because it's kind of easy to kind of fake that, but in terms of kind of the slower songs and the songs where you have to dig deep for emotions, she's still struggling with the same issue. By the way, this is the same thing that you can't really get to unless like I said in the past, this is something they have to figure out. She has to figure out really. She has to talk to the right people, have like deep conversations maybe. But that aside, in practice, the girls were constantly told to do more acting. And then it just shows them getting a lot more criticism here. And I was wondering, why are they showing more criticism here? Is it real? Is it legit? Or is it just for the drama? Like, are they trying to make us think that these girls aren't gonna win? That's what I thought at first. Uh, and then after Gabby enters, and she asked Savannah to look more friendly, and then she asked for more detail. Savannah asked for more detail, and basically she said facial expressions. But really, what she really means is she either means you have to act convincingly or act authentically. And so she really has to think about the lyrics and embody what it means as it's flowing through her, right? And that's basically the same thing that Gina has to worry about. But for some reason, they put it on Savannah here. And then the other concern of Gabby's was that Lexi was not popping out during her performance. And then Camilla just needs to act a bit more too, because Camilla is good at the kind of stoic face, but like, how comfortable is she doing everything else? You know, Camilla behind the scenes kind of looks like, kind of like tired or stoic or kind of like low energy sometimes behind the scenes in interviews. But anyways, that's basically the feedback you got. I think at the end of the day, most of this feedback was really about sincerity, because JYP said a long time ago, you know, you gotta be your real self, and you gotta make sure there's no distance between the person you are on stage and the person you are in real life. And if you're gonna interpret this music and do justice to it, you have to think about what the feelings and meanings of the song are and embody it in your dance, in your singing, and everything. So that's basically that in their performance. So during this performance, they were good, they were in sync. And here's the thing though, I could sense that they were trying, and I felt like it showed on their faces. There was a slightly inauthentic feeling to this performance. And, actually, I felt like their harmonies and cheering sounded very good, right? But then the solo voices were kind of weak, except for maybe Camilla. But even Camilla came across as quiet. And I think I said this before in the last team as well. All the vocals just seemed really low, and it was so kind of hard to hear them. Maybe it was easier for the people in the auditorium to hear it. But the mics were definitely not picking it up in a way that was, well, good for the at-home audience, I would say. And then there's one point where I'm like, what is Gina even looking at? Because she had like a straight face, and I wasn't sure if she was looking at JYP or just off into the distance. And so I noticed that the chat during this performance were saying the song doesn't suit them, right? And, I would say that I'm not sure if it matters if the song suits them. It's about whether or not they can deliver it like it suits them. And so if you're like a quality performer, I suppose that you can make yourself suit any concept. But it seemed like a lot of chat weren't feeling this at all. And so there was something there, something off. And that was a very different, we had a very different idea of it from the judges. Because according to Sunmi, Savannah, she said Savannah was a good dancer. And she even sung well. And Sunmi would later say that Topic won between the two groups. Now Gabby was saying that they were happy and detailed, but much better in practice. And so she was expecting more from them. And she said Savannah did pop during the stage, so she liked what Savannah did, but she still gave it to Clover as the winner. Now JYP, like the other team, he also said they were higher than his expectation, but he basically pointed out to Camilla being the MVP in vocal and dance, and then he also said Savannah never missed any detail, and always took his feedback throughout the course of the competition, and he said that here she did not disappoint him either. And so because of this, Topic won on both performances, but it didn't seem like it even mattered, because there wasn't any like reward for it. Like, you're not gonna get a stone just for winning. It looks like, but chat disagreed greatly with Clover not winning, and so chat at home said Clover, they loved Clover, and that reminds me of like when you're watching Girls Planet. Everyone always likes the kind of like wholesome, cute, bubbly kind of performers, and then they sometimes they win, sometimes they don't, but everyone always memorizes those ones. And so it's kind of funny how like everyone's always like, oh, girl crush, but then like at the end of the day, regular people just love like the wholesome stuff, right? But after this, JYP goes behind the scenes and starts deciding with his judges about what is going to happen in terms of who the takeaway person is, like who's going to take away all the stones and join the group. And he comes back out on stage eventually and says that another evaluation took place, and this is just a character stone basically, and talking about how it had to do with how they were evaluated by fellow teammates and trainers, and also people in their immediate teams, and how that would be considered. So after that, he decides who the final members are. Sorry. First, he gives the stones to Lexus, Savannah, Camilla, and Kendall. So all those people get advanced a bit with their stones. And then he decides the final ranking of all the members in the group. And so he starts selecting, and he gives one. The first person in the group is Lexus, and then it's KG, and then it's Camilla, and then it's Savannah, and then Kaylee, and then it's Kendall, and she was the final member. And I was kind of shocked. So I was happy that Lexus won first, because Lexus is my top. So when Lexus was first, I was like, whoa, because she was like in last for the longest time. And then KG getting second was also kind of a surprise, because I never really thought that Camilla would be topped, and then I thought Christina would be like in the top 3, but she wasn't. Christina just was not selected. The funny thing is, first he selected Lexus, then he selected KG, then he selected Camilla, and then he selected Savannah. And at this point, I'm thinking in my head, is he really gonna try to hit all the shades with this one? And then he selected Kaylee. I'm like, he is. He's selecting one of each shade, isn't he? And then he ended on Kendall, who's kind of like a bonus mixed person. But yeah, I'm happy that Lexus got first and was #1 dancer. She jumped up by 3 stones, and I think so did Kendall. But then a whole bunch of people got stones just recently, but because of the character stone. But she jumped up a lot, and then Savannah, I'm glad that she got chosen as well. I'm very disappointed that Christina didn't make it. And here's the thing about Christina. I feel like he never really gave like her proper reasons why, or proper feedback. It's kind of just seemed like, wow, you were nervous this one performance, right? Or like she grew every time, and she grew methodically, and she was always fun to me behind the scenes as well. And so I'm kind of disappointed that didn't happen. I feel like I said earlier, it was kind of like he was hitting all the shades, and then he got rid of the redundancies, like Christina and Gina are basically Camilla and Savannah and Kendall, and so he basically just took off the redundancies there. But I was surprised about Gina, because that's a JYP trainee, and a lot of people were throughout the competition. A lot of people actually really liked Gina, but I always knew that Gina had a problem, and she never overcame it. But Christina, I don't understand a lot about why that happened. Maybe I don't even know. I can't even come up with an explanation for why she's not there, whereas other people struggled way more. But I guess, I guess you just need to get rid of those redundancies. But I feel like this group still could have worked as an 8-member group. But I guess maybe 6 members is good enough for the Republic Records. So he announces them, and then he says, "This is your girl group," and then confetti starts falling from the sky, and no one can even smile. Everyone's really disappointed. It's like everyone's super sad about it, and it seemed cold when that happened, because it was too soon. Everything was so rushed. And then JYP goes up to Christina and Gina, and he starts talking kind of funky about how an outside force blocked him from being able to choose them. Like, all these evaluations came from everywhere. Like, is he saying that he didn't have full control over this? Is he saying Republic Records or his judges are telling him what not to do? I mean, I thought that was kind of weird, because this guy is the guy with his name on the building. Am I right? And so maybe, I don't know if he has evaluators from Republic, or if it's or if they're stakeholders in his company and it's a public company, and they're getting to judge. So I don't know. But he said he basically offloaded his own responsibility, and they made sure to put on the show. so I guess no one can be mad at him. But I feel like that's sus. I think that's kind of weird. But mainly the sad part about this is Gina just worried about disappointing him as a trainee, and I thought that was kind of like, I thought that was kind of sad. But she did have something very important that she needed to figure out. And after this, so these are. So after this, they go here, and then JYP's like, "I came up with a name for you guys. It's Vicha." And a lot of chat was like, sounds like, but the way he said it is like, Vicha. It sounds like, I don't know, it sounds kind of funny. It's weird. I think that a chat was saying it was either this or Query, and I thought that was funny. Both names are just weird. Like, I don't understand. It doesn't roll off the tongue. It's not endearing. I don't think it's gonna grow on me, to be honest. I feel like they needed to change this. It needed to be something else. You know? It's just off. I feel like it's gonna not work for them. But anyways, apparently they have a single coming out. And so they have this single with this art. Right? So this is their new makeovers. However they're supposed to look. Right? And then this is the final rosters. And Christina, Gina, and Yuna were kicked out. And I guess Misha should be there somewhere as well. But it's kind of sad that this is it for these girls. I remember watching Boys Planet, and I was like, they could have taken the top 15 and made two different groups. And you could have done this thing like 2 a.m. and 2 p.m. groups. But they didn't end up doing that. And anyways, that's the final 6. Did you have fun watching this show? I thought it was very pleasant. I just finished Mnet, and I was kind of done with Mnet shows for a while. And I said to myself, I don't want to watch another one. I pretty much skipped all of Queendom Puzzle because I don't want to watch any more evil editing Mnet shows. They're really bad. Mnet shows are pretty bad. Queendom Puzzle actually started on June 23rd, 23, which is basically a 666. And you tell me that's an accident? It's not an accident. That's like intentional. All of it, you can tell which companies are evil because they kind of embrace it, right? And it's all about drama, and they don't care what happens to the other guys. But in A2K, it was very wholesome for the most part. And then an easy project I'm also excited about. They're going to Korea soon. They're going to select tonight. I think there's already spoilers for that, but I don't look at spoilers if I can. And so soon they're going to reveal in about, I think 12 hours, they're going to reveal who goes to Korea in the boys. And hopefully less than 20 are going because it's been hard to follow them all. And then in about 15 days or 2 weeks, we're going to start with a Produce 101 Japan Season 3, The Girls. And I don't know how I'm going to watch that, but I'm going to try to, I guess, catch a delayed version of it because you can't watch it live. Apparently, they're not going to stream it. But I guess that's it. Do you guys like the final 6? I think I don't think I predicted this correctly. Because I did not think that Gina wouldn't make the final. And then I also was pretty sure about Christina. And Christina was like someone who I thought should be in the group, but also someone I thought should be in a group if I just was biased about it. And so I was kind of disappointed that Christina didn't make it. And I would have chosen Christina over, honestly, I would have chosen her over Kaylee and Camilla. But it didn't happen. And there's nothing against Kaylee or Camilla, it's just I had a preference for Christina. But anyways, I guess that's it. This video doesn't need to go any longer. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. You can let me know in the comment box why. And I guess that's it. We're done. Probably won't see most of you again. But thanks for stopping by and watching this series. I always like to watch competition shows. And I like the JYP competition shows way more than Mnet shows. But I typically have been watching X Factor, Idol, The Voice for like 20 years, and I saw some of the Masked Singer before I got tired of just the too much extra bits. And I guess this is something that's fun for me to do and discuss with people. So, if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.